Biscuits, get ready for the game of games and the challenge of challenges. This right here epitomizes why I do not come to the parks during the nighttime. It's a reverse rope drop night tonight at Disneyland, Biscuits. Yeah! But the question becomes, how many rides can we get done in the last 3 hours at the park? Well, we are about to find out. Let's slay it! Of course I'm going to be taking you along for the whole evening. But before we get started, if you're new here, hi, I'm Jeremy, but you can call me Jerendelle. And if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so every time I post a video, you can come and slay with me. Okay, now let's get back to it. What's a reverse rope drop? I'm glad you asked. It's basically taking the rope drop morning and doing it at night instead. So rather than being here first thing in the morning and being at the park right when it opens, we are going to use, hopefully, the nighttime entertainment here at Disneyland to our advantage, as hopefully, again, that drops the wait times for a lot of the most popular rides here at Disneyland. Now, one thing that could work against us tonight is it's a Tuesday night. So the only real entertainment that's going to be happening is going to be Paint the Night twice. Once at 8:30 and then the other time at 10:30. No, but in between, there is actually the projections on the castle, no fireworks. On Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you also have the addition of a couple Fantasmic shows as well as the fireworks. So we'll see how that plays into our favor or doesn't play into our favor at all. We're going to take a lap around the park. It's a little after 7 p.m. We're going to get our bearings, see how things are looking, and come up with a game plan. But I can tell you that my strategy tonight is to try to hit every single big hitting ride, the most popular rides here in Disneyland, to show you that it's possible. Indiana Jones, Rise of the Resistance, maybe Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Minnie's Runaway Railway, Space Mountain, etc., etc. Matterhorn Bobsled, I don't know, we'll see. Let's take a lap and go check out how the park is looking, and then we will be starting somewhere, but I also may have to get a coffee, dears. We'll see. Off we go. As we start our walk, we are also going to talk about some miscellaneous things, like coffee, for example. There are so many specialty coffees at Disneyland and California Adventure. Jolly Holiday arguably has the best one. Their pumpkin cold brew is absolutely insane. And then as we head here into Adventureland, if you go over to the Royal Street Veranda, they have a pumpkin creme. Wait, no, that's incorrect. Yeah, no, a pumpkin brulee, creme brulee. My goodness, I'm getting it incorrect. Cold brew, and it almost kind of blends the line between iced coffee and smoothie. It's delicious. Hi to my fellow biscuit that just said hi. Hi! I hope you see this and have a great night. We were talking about the pumpkin creme brulee cold brew. It kind of blurs the line between cold brew and smoothie, but in the best way. It's one of my favorites. I genuinely think it's tied with the pumpkin cold brew over Jolly Holiday. This could be worse, but this is an area that I tend to avoid walking through at most times of the evening just because it is such a cluster and it's chaos. For my biscuits that are on health journeys or just like things a little bit lighter, Bengal Barbecue is one of my favorite places to eat. Their skewers are fantastic. They got rid of the veggie skewer, which I'm still really sad about, but this is a phenomenal meal to get. Expensive, but really 50 minutes currently for Indiana Jones. That's going to drop, especially the closer to the parade, but then also they do have a single rider line option when that's available. So Pirates of the Caribbean is currently showing 30, but there's no external queue in that line. First of all, the ride is so high capacity. If you see a line that is not external, there's no way, no ma'am, no Pam, that it's going to be a 30-minute wait. If it is, I owe you a coffee. It moves so fast. The throughput is very high. That is definitely going to be more like maybe 15-20 minutes max. Let's talk game plan strategy. So I want to start at one of the most popular attractions in the park right now. That could either be Rise of the Resistance or right behind me, Haunted Mansion, as it's the Haunted Mansion Holiday Overlay, which right now is showing a 65-minute wait. I can't see how far it is to the extended queue. It very well could be, but this is another ride that, especially if the lighting lane's that long, that standby queue is going to move pretty quickly. So we're going to take a full lap, assess, and then I'm guessing that we're either going to be starting here at Haunted Mansion or Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, not Space Mountain, because Space Mountain has a single rider line that hopefully we'll be able to use during one of the parades, but we'll also just kind of have to wait and see. Same with Matterhorn, maybe even start at Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, but let's finish our lap and then we'll see where we end up. So here's the thing. TT, look, you're my sis for life, you're my girl, you are my favorite ride here, but I am wearing a sweatshirt, hoodie sweatshirt that will take on water and unapologetically leave it there for the rest of the night, and I just don't have that in me. If I sit further back in the boat, maybe I will be okay, but it's never a guarantee. So TT, we're on the fence. It's also starting to cool off a little bit. We'll see. If it's like walk-on territory, we'll do it just for funsies and to say we did, but if we get off wet, just be prepared. I will be bearing that burden the rest of the video. So Just a heads up, you've been warned. Here is currently the line for Rise of the Resistance, and oh boy, Biscuits, listen, this is gonna drop. I do not suggest, look, if this is your last ride of the night, wait in line. I'm assuming it's gonna say between 50 to 65 minutes for this, but this is pretty bad. My motto here is if the line's outside, run and hide. If the line's inside, we go ride. This is a definite pass for me. So many people have showed up. This is like last ride of the night, maybe going to the last fireworks kind of a wait. I personally would not do this. I would personally come back at a different time. Maybe during one of the parades. If not, maybe this is just a skip for the night. If it stays like this. This will forever be one of my favorite areas to walk through during the nighttime. It quite literally takes my breath away. Just the engineering, the design, the lighting. I mean, you feel like you're transported quite literally off of this planet and into an alternate universe. It's so stunning. And any night I'm in the park, I make a purpose to walk through here just to marvel at how beautiful it is. Speaking of things that leave me completely awestruck, the Millennium Falcon! And also unique here to Disneyland, if you have not seen The Rise of Skywalker, the projection show, you are missing out. I would say that especially for Star Wars fans, it is worth the trip alone to come here to see it, especially on the weekends when it's followed up by Fire of the Rising Moon's The Fireworks Show. So to be able to have those back to back, it makes this one of my favorite places to be any night that I am here at Disneyland. Also new here in Batuu, Oga's Cantina is officially a walk-up. You no longer have to make a reservation, but oh boy, the line is long tonight. And again, it's almost 8 o'clock and the line is all the way down here. I have no idea how long it takes. I'm pretty sure you only have, what is it, y'all, 45 minutes to be able to be inside Oga's. And this is one of my favorite places to go. It has one of my favorite adult beverages, cocktails, the Outer Rim, which is delicious. It is Davoon. I'm obsessed. And then they also have some really great food here, like the garlic cheesy knots, the cheese sauce that it comes with. Diabolical, insane, one of my favorite things to eat here at the resorts. But I very rarely get it because this isn't a place that I necessarily go to too often because it is very expensive and now apparently very hard to get into as it's a walk-up. But continue, but what? But who? But oh my goodness. Okay, let's just keep going. Admittedly so, Fantasyland is another area that I avoid like crazy. However, during the parades and especially later at night, you can run this area really quickly between Pinocchio, Mother, aka Snow White, Mr. Toads. Peter Pan is always going to have a little bit of a line, but you can catch it on a lower wait time. Dumbo usually drops, the Teacups is always a walkout, and maybe even Alice in Wonderland. So that is also going to be one of the plans of attack because right now, like, for example, look at Mr. Toad's line right now. Oh no, that is going up, not forward. Please hold, please hold. Are we doing it? Are we doing it? Nope, still going up. It's going well. Hashtag professional. Maybe now? There we go. So like, for example, look at the line for Mr. Toads right now. This is bonkers. On a Tuesday night? Come on. But at the end of the night, hopefully, we will be able to run through it with a lot less time after people start to leave after the parade. So we'll have to wait to see. For example, look at this line still for the Mad Tea Party. This is wild. And then Alice in Wonderland, this is nothing new. This is one of the more popular attractions here at the park. But this, even Tuesday night, right before the parade, this is pretty wild. This is probably about a 25 to 30 minute wait. Not too bad. It could be worse, but still way longer than I... Oh no! Matterhorn is down! We may not be able to go on that tonight. Oh, sorry about it, not sorry. Small World is 10 minutes. That is much more doable and not a surprise, but that too will even get less, maybe even a walk on a little bit later. Will we do it tonight? Probably not, but it's a... This right here epitomizes why I do not come to the parks during the nighttime. I'm telling you, it is like this all the time, almost every single night. It bottlenecks, it gets crowded. Yes, the parade is about to happen, but yes, this is a consistent thing that happens most evenings here at Disneyland, and it's just not my vibe. Sorry to be a negative Nelly. Roger Rabbit right now unfortunately is down, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Then right over here, first of all, before Runaway Railway, this is one of the most gorgeous nighttime areas. I have yet to actually watch a date with Mickey and Minnie at the end of the night, and that is something very high on my priority list. Right now, Runaway Railway, 35. Really not too bad. And honestly, that could potentially be shorter. You just have to kind of get inside to be able to see. I need to put eyes on everything so I can know, but I would not be surprised if that was shorter. But still, a lot of live energy here tonight. And this is undoubtedly one of my favorite nighttime areas at the park, if not areas at the park, period. Oh no, Matterhorn is still down. I'm so sad. That's devastating. One of the most beautiful rides that's ever been created. One of the most scarring experiences that have ever been created. Have you ever been inside the submarine during a hot day that's full of people and somebody crop dusts everyone? Yeah, not my idea of a good time, but she's Gadget. Not to mention, if you are a tall biscuit, good luck. Not tall biscuit approved, and quite honestly, the seats are so small that they aren't really approved for most people, but you know, we tried anyway. So while this could always be worse, it's not great. So I'm going to say single rider, this is going to be at least 20 to 25 minutes. It could be worse, but we're going to try coming back later when hopefully it's not. How I forgot that Star Tourist was back, I will never know, but I will very much have to get on this tonight. Underrated, one of my favorite attractions. I love it, so we are definitely going to have to do it tonight. Biscuits, it's 7:53. We just completed our walk around, so now it's time to strategize. We are going to make our way back through Adventureland, which I don't necessarily enjoy doing, just to see how Indiana Jones is looking. We're going to look at Haunted Mansion. I'm going to check the tip board, and then we're just going to make a decision from there. If for whatever reason one or the other looks like a good option, we are just going to stay and start the loop there. If not, if Rise of the Resistance is showing below 40 minutes, I may just risk it and go there. So next time you see me, most likely, probably not, because y'all know me and how I am, we may be at the ride we are starting at, and we may not be. So stay tuned. Biscuits, a decision is made. We are doing the single rider line for Indiana Jones, the world's biggest ticket. And the line right now, it does say a posted hour. This is probably not going to be an hour. I'm going to guess maybe around like 40 minutes, we'll say. But this is going to be the best possible start because it's going to then make our loop more continuous. And Biscuits, it is just before 8 p.m. The challenge has officially started. The park is open till 11. How much are we going to do? Place your guesses. No, like seriously, place them in the comments and let's see. I'm going to say that I'm going to make it on, it's a busy night tonight, but I'm going to be optimistic and I'm going to say I'm going to make it on at least 11 rides between now and 11 p.m. 8:08, we're already through the merge, and I can tell just by how they're pumping people through this queue, I will not be surprised that once we get off of this ride, the whole external queue is going to be empty, but we'll have to... Now, if you are doing single rider, you are going to stick to the left side of the line. Again, single rider, stick to the left side of the line. Just after 8:12, we are off Indiana Jones. That is a great start. It took, what, like hardly even 12 minutes to get on? Barely? And then we did get a little bit stopped at the end. It took us a little longer to get off of the ride. It was backed up a little bit, but a fantastic start on to the next, which I'm hoping is going to be maybe Haunted Mansion. We're going to keep going past Pirates of the Caribbean just because that ride is so long and that's going to take up a lot of time. So we're going to hopefully go next to Haunted Mansion, and then this could line up really, really well with the parade when we go back to Rise of the Resistance, and hopefully we'll be able to catch that on a short wait, but we'll have to see. And yep, this is pretty much as I expected it to be. The line isn't completely empty. This whole section of switchbacks is cleared. It's just this tiny section right here, but this has been very typical with the first paint the night. Usually Indy's line clears pretty well, so keep that in mind. Wow, Haunted Mansion Holiday is still at a 40-minute wait, and honestly, that's going to be at least 40. It looks like they're actually opening more of the extended queue back there, so I do think that that is going to be quite genuine, if not potentially longer. So we're going to continue past here and maybe look at Tiana's as well as Winnie the Pooh. But you can never deny that this is also one of the most gorgeous nighttime sights that you're going to find, quite honestly, in any Disney park. Just TT says it's on 30. I don't see any line outside, so I think we're gonna risk it, y'all. Let's do it. I'm gonna be honest, I know that I'm doing this to myself. I very much am aware of that. I'm the only person to blame. Am I still gonna complain about it? Yeah, I'm going to. Just a little bit, not much, I promise, but it is without question going to be a little bit. But we're going to hopefully sit towards the back, and we are just going to manifest dryness, and it's going to be okay. Trust me, y'all, I've been gay. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, beignet, my bad. So sorry. And y'all, this is gonna be really, really quick. No chance this is gonna be 30 minutes, but let's wait till we round the corner before we say that. Biscuits, it's about 8:35, probably a little after, I'm not exactly sure, but we got row 6, thank goodness. So it's looking good, morale is high, it was a short wait. And just keep in mind, there is a single rider line, so if you don't really care about what you get, you can do the single rider line, but the row you get is the row you get. So if you go into that line and you draw row 1, good luck, sis. But for now, row 6, we're gonna hope for the best. I'm gonna record every single drop. Let's see what we get. Oh my God, look at all this standing water. This is gonna be a disaster. Oh God, here we go. Oh my God. Oh, we're good. Thank goodness. Yes. Oh no. Completely soaked. Oh no! Wait till you see how wet my back is. It doesn't look that bad, right? Look at the back. There's not, oh my goodness, and my money, my credit card's right here. Completely soaked. Disaster. That is the wettest I've ever gotten. I don't know why, but soaked. Those last few drops, tons of water over the side. We're done. Over it. Out of the net. Biscuits, it's 8:51, and this is some pretty decent timing. So if people were at the beginning of the route for Paint the Night, it's probably getting pretty close to finishing. So by the time they could even get there all the way to Rise, that's a pretty long walk. So we're gonna go walk over to Rise and see how it's looking. Maybe we'll get lucky. But remember, if the line's outside, run and hide. If the line's inside, we go right. So let's go. You really hate to see it. This is a no-go. This is way too long. It is still basically the exact same as it was when we were here earlier. So we're gonna continue on, and maybe we will try it during the second parade, where hopefully right before closing we can get a little bit luckier, but that is just way too long. That is going to really put a huge dent. It says 40 minutes, and that's probably gonna be about true, but then you have to factor in the rest of the ride experience. 40 minutes for the most part means to the pre-show. So you still have another, let's call it 20 minutes on top of that. That's gonna be way too massive of a dent. We do not have an hour to give. So let's continue on, but this is where it gets rough. We're about to run into Fantasyland, where all of those people are gonna be coming after the parade. So let's go see what we can do. Maybe we'll head back towards Runaway Railway. Let's see, but up next is gonna be Fantasyland. So let's see what we can. All right, Biscuits, we made it back, and it's time for Pinocchio, and hopefully we see Geppetto. The line right now, oh my goodness, where am I looking? The line right now, not too bad. It could be far worse, so we're gonna wait it out. About 9:02, and on we go for Pinocchio. Not sure where we're gonna be heading next, but we'll worry about that once we get off. Up next, it is time to go see Mother. Mother, we're coming! Hi, there you are! How you doing, sis? I almost went in the wrong way, but Mother, I made it. We're here, we're coming, we're going on, I promise. Now, one of my favorite games to play. So all of the cars, they have different names for the dwarfs. Guess in the comments, which dwarf are we getting? I'm going with Happy. That's what my instinct said, but I have never been right, so that says something about my instincts. Here we go. Here's to Happy. I missed it by one car. This is how Oh no! This is happy. It looks like Biscuits. We're gonna be getting bashful. Who guessed bashful? Let me know. Hey sis! It smells so good in here.
Now to take care of Snow White.
Hello, mama. I love this part.
Magic glitter on the wall. In this disguise, I fool them all.
Peter Pan's flight really isn't that bad right now, but we're gonna let this rest a little bit and come back probably closer to the second paint tonight to see how it is then. Okay, Thaddeus line really isn't too bad. It's right back here, so we are going to do Mr. Toad's Wild Ride next. Hey Thaddy, how you doing? You doing all right? Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm like really, really hungry. You look really, really hungry. I don't know what you're looking at. I would love some eye contact. Okay, bye Thaddy. But it is gorgeous in here. You can't deny that. Thaddy did an amazing job with the place. Oh, except for the fireplace, dears. We might have to have that looked at. That might be a HOA issue, but you know, we'll see what happens. It's about 9:25 and on we go for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Here's to hoping we don't go south and we go north. If you know, you know. If you don't, you'll find out soon. He's my favorite. He's my favorite. They're my favorite too. Oh my goodness! Ooh. Excuse you. How does he do that? Oh, wait, please give me some pie. Oh, dear. Where are we headed? Oh, those light effects are off. Oh no. Well, here we are. Oh dear. You just hate to see it. Oh my, hi. Off Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and right now Dumbo is only showing a 10-minute queue, which really is not too bad at all. This is all the line is, so let's do Dumbo. And after this, Biscuits, I'm gonna need a little popcorn. I was hoping to make it through the night without needing a snack or a drink. I'm doing okay with the drink, but I almost got a coffee just because when in Disney, am I right? But I am for sure gonna need a snack to power through to the end. So, popcorn incoming after Dumbo. Biscuits, get ready for the game of games and the challenge of challenges. We're gonna see how many times we can go up and down on Dumbo in one circuit. My best, I want to say, is like 3.5. I've never made it to 4. Is this going to be the time that we make it to 4? Well, you're going to have to wait and see and find out. I'm going to record the whole thing. Let's get into it. I need to get into the zone. I need to get focused. I need to get my trigger fingers ready to go. Deep breathing. Woosah. Let's go. Time to play and slay. Let's get it! Dumbo number 6 is our Dumbo. Let's get it! Biscuits, the time has come. Let's get locked in. Here we go! Let's get it! Okay, Dumby, we're already behind. Come on, there we go. Here we go. Up we go for number 1. Here we go. As soon as we click in, we drop it. There's half. Down we go, down we go. Let's get it! Come on, Dumbo, come on, Dumbo. Here we go, here we go. We got this, and we click down. We bounce a little bit, boom. Up we go for number 2. Let's go! Oh my goodness, y'all, we're making pretty decent time. It's looking good. I'm kind of flying to the side. My goodness, it's gorgeous. Dumbo, don't stop, what are you doing? Okay, almost at the top, and then boom, drop it! When the drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. It's like it's 2003 and I'm back in college. Was that song even out yet? I'm not right sure. Also, you're probably wondering why I'm talking. We gotta go! Why I'm talking the whole time? Because YouTube doesn't like this when you can hear the music in the background, so that's why I'm talking. This is 3.5, we're gonna make 4. 3.5, 3.5, here we go. 3.5, boom, down, down, let's go! No! I think 3.5 is just the best we can do. We made it to 3.5, that's still pretty good. That's a great showing, Biscuits. Way to turn up and show up. I love it. You know what? There are only positives to take away from that showing. We showed up, we showed out, we hit our max 3.5, and you know what? We can only get better from here. It's the luck of the Dumbo. Sometimes it's speedy getting off of the ground, sometimes it's not. You just got to do your best and show up, do the work, and hope for the best. And you know what? We slayed it. On to the next. Wow, this is about as good as Alice in Wonderland is going to get. So we are for sure going to be hopping on Alice in Wonderland right now. We love to see it. Biscuits, it's 9:50 and I made a huge whoopsie daisies. Rise closes in 10 minutes! There is no way I'm gonna make it through Alice in Wonderland and make it back to Rise. So we are gonna miss Rise, keep that in mind. Rise here does close at 10 p.m. Whether the park closes at 11 or midnight, it closes early at 10 and I completely biffed it, my goodness. But that's okay, it actually saves me a really long walk back in that direction, so we're gonna make up for it on this side of the park.
All of a sudden, I fell. Down, down, down.
Oh, looking for the white rabbit? Well, see for yourself.
Oh, Mr. Rabbit, wait, please.
This way, chance? I'm not sure where I am either.
Wait, don't go, please.
Oh, by the way, he went this way.
I need to tease him now, but do too.
Oh my goodness, yay! Matterhorn reopened again! Well, if not Rise, I guess Matterhorn it is. Single rider line, nobody here, let's send it up. Bye. This is a very dangerous game. Our hope is that we go over here to the Fantasyland side and not to the far side over to Tomorrowland, because we will inevitably be stuck in row 6. So let's manifest this side. Let's go. Great manifestation part 1. We are on the Tomorrowland side, which is great. So, you know, even if we get in the back row, it's not going to be great, but it is not going to be as bad as if we got the back row over on the Tomorrowland side. So morale is high. You know what, Biscuits? It was just meant to be. We got row 3, which isn't too bad from a leg room perspective. It's not great, but it's better than the back row, so we'll take it. And it's currently 10:06 p.m., so we're making some decent time as well. We've got about 45. That's incorrect. 55 minutes. Here we go. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ow. Oh my god. We gotta slow down. It's going too fast. Oh! Oh no! Oh, it's so bad! Oh my god! Oh!
Remain seated, please.
It was going so fast.
Sentados.
It was brutal. Oh my goodness, getting off of Matterhorn should be an Olympic sport. My goodness, that takes so much effort. Oh! I might be slightly biased, but I think I have earned every bit of this popcorn. Between just needing a snack and rewarding myself for a job well done on Matterhorn, it was time, it was needed, and it's incredible. Speaking of incredible, not a lot of people are waiting for the parade. That starts really, really soon. Granted, this is the end of the parade route for the secondary parade, but it is very quiet over here. Speaking of, walk on Central right now for Small World. There's nobody in line. You pretty much just walk on straight onto the boat. But we're gonna head back to Toontown to see if we can knock out some of the rides back here. Runaway Railway right now is currently showing 15, which you never know. It could be longer, it could be shorter. Hopefully it's on the shorter side, but let's get in line and find out. Forgive me if you hear the chomping in the background. I can't help myself, but what I do love is this site. First of all, this might arguably be one of my favorite queues that's ever been created. It literally transports you immediately into the cartoon. You know exactly what you're doing. You know, what? And I don't care what anybody says, this is giving Chuck E. Cheese. I'm obsessed with it, I love it, but it's giving Chuck E. Cheese and you can't convince me otherwise. Popcorn? Popcorn! Where is it? There it is, my goodness. And while I love to see that there is absolutely no line, I gotta work double time to finish this. Thankfully I have the pre-show, but I gotta knock through this popcorn. Bye. Well, biscuits, just like that. We're already in. Gotta slam the popcorn. Okay, I'll see you over by the ride.
Our good times are here to stay. Don't get away and have the perfect day.
And look, we gotta buy ourselves all the time we can get, so we're gonna be going last so I can finish, once again, the popcorn. We got a lot more to go. All right, biscuits, we have made it to Runaway Railway, but this is now a hands-free ride, so I will see you as soon as we get off Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway. Biscuits, 10:35, we're off Runaway Railway. Now, here's what we're running into. Paint the Night just touched off, but at the beginning of Main Street. So we need to try to not get caught back here, which might happen if I do one more ride. If Roger Rabbit is a walk-on, I think we're gonna risk it to see if we can get on it. But honestly, it looks like Roger Rabbit still might even be closed. Well, that kind of made that decision really, really easy because it is still closed at the moment. It looked like they were maybe potentially about to open it, but yeah, it's not even cycling. So we are gonna continue on our way and start making our way over towards like Space Mountain, Buzz Lightyear, see what we can knock out over there. Wait a minute, Chippendale, Chippendale, Chippendale. Let's see if we can maybe even knock out Chippendale. That is quick, fast, easy. Let's see if it has no line and we can walk right on. We're committed to Chippendale. This is for sure gonna, yeah, there's nobody in line. So once we get up, we're gonna basically walk right on the ride, and then we are gonna have to hightail it out here so we can make it before we get stuck by the parade. It's gonna be a close call. Here we goes. Now keep in mind, this is another hands-free ride, so I'm not gonna be able to take you on. So I'm gonna say goodbye for now as we're up to the station. I will see you after the ride.
Brazos, pies y piernas dentro del vehículo. Cuidados pequeñitos.
Chippendale finished. So we have to hightail it out of here. Speed Walk Sachet is officially activated, and we have to get at least to the opposite side so we don't get stopped by Paint the Night if it is getting close, which it probably is at this point, but I think we're gonna make it. We'll cross to the other side, and then we're gonna make our way over. Hopefully we're gonna be able to hit like Buzz Lightyear space, but let's see what we can do. Oh, biscuits, we just made it 15 minutes. We are getting 2 more rides in. We are getting Buzz and we are getting space. Mark my words, it's happening. And that saved us being able to make it to the opposite side. We almost got stopped, but we'll take it. I'll see you with Buzz. Buzz Lightyear, Astro Blaster, walk on. This is exactly the luck that we needed. Let's get it. And then here's my issue with this part of the ride. Buzz, he says so many things, but nothing at the same time. No help. Just speaking word vomit. Nonsense. What do? All he keeps saying is we must defeat Emperor Zurg. That's it. How do we do it? What are the keys to success? He doesn't know. I don't know. Where's Woody? Anyway, it's a walk-on. Let's get it. This is serious business. I'll see you at the end once I get my score. Honestly, this is one of my better scores. I'll take it. I have never gotten Galactic Hero here. I am convinced it's not possible, even though I've seen people do it. How do you do it? Here's what we're waiting to see. If they're dispatching Astro right now, we're gonna get in line. Doesn't look like they are, because I'd be able to get on the next cycle for sure. Yeah, they are still checking restraints, so there is no way. It would be so cool to get to go on this with Paint the Night going by, even though it is about to end. Ooh, I don't know, that might be worth it, because we might get the Mickey float. Oh no, what do we do? Because we would for sure get on the next ride and be able to get to see the last flight, because it's a Frozen. Nope, you know what, we're gonna do Space Mountain. It's okay, another time. We're gonna do that another time. Off to Space Mountain we go. We gotta do it. I love that ride so much. Let's do space. 10:58, and we are about to get on Space Mountain in row 1. The best possible way to end the night. I'll see you after space. Look, tell me that she did not devour. That is how you take an on-ride photo, if I do say so myself. Biscuits 11:04 challenge officially over. We are going to talk through it. So here's the thing. First of all, I lost track of all the rides that we did. So I'm going to have to take this time to count. So count with me, please, and thank you. And please let me know if I miss anything. We started with Indiana Jones, and then we got completely soaked on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And then we did make our way, oh, what am I missing? No. And then we did go all the way to Fantasyland, where we got Pinocchio. We saw Mother and Snow White. Ooh, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Dumbo. Alice in Wonderland. And then we made it over to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. No. We got Matterhorn Bobsled. Then we made it over to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And then we got Buzz Lightyear. And then we also got, by the way, this is so epic sounding. Oh my goodness, it's the projections on Space Mountain. I haven't seen them yet. My goodness. Okay, I'm gonna have to come back and see those. And then we finished number 12 on Space Mountain. So Biscuits, we did the thing. Did we get all of the major hitting rides? No, but we got a really good number of them between Indiana Jones, Matterhorn, Mickey Runaway Railway, and then Space Mountain. 12 rides in 3 hours. That is a really solid evening. And if you would, and if you think about it, you know, usually we have an hour more. It's open to midnight. It's shortened hours. So if we would have had another hour, I might have matched the most rides I've ever done, because I usually do this 8 till midnight, and I want to say my max was like 16 or 17 rides. I think we would have hit that, maybe have even surpassed it by like 1. We would have been able to get to a few more rides. This was a wildly successful evening. Even though there is only Paint the Night and the projection shows that are happening, I still think we slayed, devoured, and did the thing. So let me know what you think in the comments. I am going to be honest though, for a couple reasons. First of all, we're going to be making our way down Main Street. Paint the Night just finished, so it's going to be mass exodus right now, which is not great. Though I have learned to enjoy the evenings at the parks more, I'm more of a morning person, because getting out of the parks can sometimes be super chaotic, especially after the shows finish and everybody is kind of pouring out at the same time. And then you saw in some of the bottleneck areas, like in Fantasyland, in Adventureland, you see just the sheer amount of people that are here. And sometimes that's reflected in the line, sometimes it's not. But when we did our walk around, the lines were long. The lines were really, really long, and that was on and that's a Tuesday night, granted Oogie Boogie Bash, but Tuesday night at like 7 o'clock, which is kind of crazy. And this goes back to what I've been talking about for a little while now, is that Disneyland has a massive local base of magic key holders. So any day of the week, even though we had an easy time getting in, we saw the crowds once we did get into the park. So you can kind of expect that if you're coming to the parks any day of the week, that you're gonna have some crowds in the evening times, just because so many people have access to be able to come in, enjoy the park after they get out of work or out of school. And that's gonna be a huge base of the clientele and people that come to Disneyland. Yes, tourism is higher here, and you are going to get tourism that comes through, nowhere near like the numbers that happen at Walt Disney World, but for the most part, you're going to have that more localized base that can come in and enjoy the parks after they finish with their workday, which is honestly a beautiful and wonderful thing. So now you have seen a rope drop on an Oogie Boogie morning at Disney's California Adventure. You have now seen a reverse what have you seen? You have now seen a reverse rope drop here at Disneyland. And now we're going to go back to my preferred way of rope drop. We are going to be rope dropping here tomorrow morning. The very first rope drop I'm going to take you through is my favorite rope drop to do here at Disneyland. It is a unique route, and it may not be what you think. It may be exactly what you think. We're going to have to wait and see. But either way, I'm really excited to not only take you along, but to continue just showing you my day as I rope drop the parks in the paths that I find most accessible, that allow you to maximize your time. But I have to always say this, is that my experience is not necessarily going to be your experience. There are so many variables and ebbs and flows, and things change and rides go down, and capacity is sometimes the lightning lane. You just never know. There's always going to be variables, but more times than not, these are the paths that I stick to the most, and the ones that I not only enjoy the most, but I have the most success with. So stay tuned, because there is so much more to come here, not only from Disneyland, but from Disney World as well. Biscuits, that's going to do it for our reverse rope drop here at Disneyland. First of all, let me know in the comments, what number did you pick for rides that I was going to be getting on? How did you do? Did you get the right car on Snow White? Let me know how you did on some of those questions. And then also, let me know, I love engaging with all of you. Let me know what your favorite rope drop patterns are, whether that is standard rope drop in the morning, reverse rope drop. What would you have done differently? What did you think about my path tonight? I love hearing and getting more ideas and just connecting about that, because again, there are so many ways to do it, and every way is the right way, especially if it brings you joy and happiness. That is all you can ask for out of your day. And if you've made it this far, Biscuit, you're a real one. I love you so much for that. Thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me and only continues to give me more motivation to keep speedwalk sashaying my booty forward. So thank you so much for being here. And this is just one more reminder to say that if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so every time I post a video, you can come and slay with me. And as always, I'm Jeremy, but you can call me Jerendelle. And as always, I will see you at the parks. Bye!